Yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the T.O.A Podcast. I am your host, Onvermel. Here today with EK in, your bionicle room.
This is my bionicle room. It's more of a closet, really, but hey.
More likely not, this will be where you'll be seeing him. Assuming this all works out. That's beginning to peel. It's fine. Sorry, I was just looking at the sticker on the back of my phone. Now, I wasn't just staring into off the distance of the camera.
I've never seen the phone from this side during a recording.
It is a little bit different. The only problem with this is I can't see what time it is. So you don't really know how long it's been.
I just don't happen to have a bionicle clock ticking in the corner.
Very good. Very
and
good.
And it is accurate enough.
10 after?
10 after.
Okay, that's good. So.
Keeps its time pretty good.
Yes.
I definitely recommend this bionicle clock.
I'd recommend bionicle clocks to anyone, but that's good to know that's actually still accurate, though. Clocks are a really hard thing for, I think, companies to get wrong.
I don't know.
I
have a clock that's wrong.
All the time? Or...
Well, it's fast. It just keeps going fast.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, speaking of bionicle room, does make me think. We previously on the channel talked about, I think at least a couple different ones about useful pieces for bionicles. Or parts in general. One aspect I don't think we have talked about is system parts that we've used in bionicles.
So what are we doing in the bionicle room? There's no system parts here.
Well, let's be honest, if it was useful for bionicle, there'll probably be some in here.
True.
I was doing that or another topic, but the other one I didn't think I had quite enough juice. So, because I was thinking about it, like, at least for me, when it comes down to system parts, if I were to have, because I have all my bionicle stuff in a separate room similar to this, as well as all my system stuff in a different room. For you, it's really just across the door right there. But, so basically, for the most part, you keep all your bionicle parts here, system parts there. You might have Technic in both.
Most fans, if they're fans of both, the Legos all together. Like, you build bionicle, use system parts. You build systems, sometimes use bionicle parts. It's all together. Not us.
We're very peculiar in that way, even with like our Technic parts, which we use for both. If we got it with like a used lot, typically it'll go to the bionicle stuff. But if it's from like a set that you're dismantling, it generally goes to the system sorting.
Yes.
It's usually how it goes. Or if you order stuff from Bricklink, it's going to be for bionicles. Now, I don't keep any of my system stuff with my bionicles, but if I were, and I have ordered some system parts, specifically bionicles, and the number 3, there's 3 parts that are the number 1 culprits for keeping in the bionicle room that I would want to have just a supply of constantly. 1, X-Force robot arms.
I too have a supply of those over here.
Well, I almost exclusively just use them for bionicle fingers these days. Like, it's not an uncommon.
Like if we grab Hanatu here.
Oh yes.
Look at the fingers.
It's not really like an unusual design or anything, but because those fingers are getting used, you also do need to get a
T-bar piece.
T-bar piece to attach said fingers. I really hope the camera can see this well. I'm assuming it can.
Yeah, it's technically a Technic piece, I think, because it's pneumatics.
It's just pneumatics, not under Technic either, technically. At least on Bricklink, it's not under Technic. It's just pneumatic.
Technically.
But it was
in Technic sense, let's be honest.
And the third one, because I like to give thumbs to my bionicles, is the tap piece.
The tap, yes.
Which I don't know if I have any readily around, but most people know most Lego fans know what the little tap bar piece is. It's not a uncommon thing. Do you have anyone with fingers? Actually, no. Yes, Ek does have them.
Look at that. Ek to the rescue.
Here in his chest, again. I'm assuming you guys can see this on screen.
His finger has it. He really has it on his thumb.
Yeah, because this is pretty much one of the most standard. Actually, this does remind me of other system pieces that I should just have a bunch of. Is the 1x2 Technic brick. I haven't done this hand design on a model in a while, but like the ladder holder and the 1x2 Technic brick. Yes, those.
And a few other system pieces on Ek. It's like we've got the wheat. Just a couple 1x1 studs, some flags, and a tile stud, an actual tile.
Well, I usually got like these.
Oh yes.
The thing about Ek though is he's beyond the normal sort of bionicle built with.
He has a little more regular system, yes, than our standard mock building.
I mean, there are certain cases where you build like CCBS, and it's just like the fully. Don't question the head on the character, by the way. But there's like a lot of system parts to make
that's
the
a very
jacket.
system body.
Also a pretty old mock at this point. Don't
He's
worry,
been around a while.
he does have a normal head. It's just he's not Darth Maul cosplayer out of costume.
But it works for that.
It does look like that. So, if you were to, like, with building BIONICLE, like, I'm trying to think of other, like, system parts that I found myself in. I mean, one that I'm finding more and more, just because I use them in a lot of T.O.A feet, is chi slopes.
Yes, the chi slope and just even the 1x2 curve slope.
1x2 curve, like which one? The
Well,
like the 1x2x2
no, just
thirds.
2 plates high. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that guy. Yes.
But another useful system piece for fingers, click hinges.
Do they count as system? Those count as Technic.
Their system, they're click hinges.
Yeah, but they have Technic axle connections.
They are under hinge.
True. I don't have.
I don't really use it very often. I just happened to look over this way and saw this mock.
I've used them on a BIONICLE model once when Zakurok originally had them for his
T.O.A
hands. Well, yes.
Use them as fingers.
It's a decent hand design, but I found I haven't really used. I mean, now I have seen some people use them on Poitou hands for the. It's like posing a finger. You don't get the full range. You just get like 190-degree basically angle, but it's nice sometimes. It's nice. So, and of course, really, if you really want to think about any other system parts, you generally find in BIONICLE stuff is like plant and animal parts, like claws, vines, seaweed, or stuff like that. You know, sort of parts that aren't like bricks, but might be a good way to accent your stuff. I mean, it doesn't help that also a lot of Hero Factory ended up starting to use a lot of those sort of like system parts to attach to their armor, and so by proxy, when you break Hero Factory stuff, you end up with those pieces in your BIONICLE collection. And now, if you really want to get technical about it, technically Kinky 2 armor is kind of a dubious thing where it's like, okay, those are obviously system figures, but the armor's Technic.
No, the armor...
Large figure body part is technically what's under.
Yes.
Which is a dubious nature.
That is not a Technic. That is a car piece.
Well, yes, the thigh armor on
the first wave
Kinky 2, yes. That is it's a Technic piece. It's got Technic connections and doesn't look like a brick. It's Technic.
Pieces.
It is Technic.
Even if it's not a Technic, it's Technic.
Yeah. And so it's like, will you ever find bricks in my BIONICLE room? No. I don't think so.
Occasionally, I have used like 1x1 bricks to help fill in a spot here or there. Like I need to extend something out.
1x1 bricks, yeah, those have surprisingly been like either you just need to fill in like a gap in someone's body.
Sometimes you need to get a chi slope on the end of the foot. And
yes.
You need just to fill
well,
it
yeah,
out.
that's the thing is like on the toe foot, if you basically attach I need a toe foot. Toe foot.
I should have a mock.
He's like right. I don't know if you have any mocks actually use that filler.
Oh, I know I have
but
once.
Do you?
Yes.
Like who? If it is, it's probably in that
that
box.
box right there.
Yeah, I don't feel like digging out.
This is a very interesting podcast, you know.
So if you have a Taraga, yeah, again, Taraga hand is our terminology. Okay, if you have one of, I use peg leg. Essentially, if you have this key orange piece attached there at the very base of the foot, add a half pin axle, and then I believe 2 1x1 studs or a 1x1 and 2 plates. You can basically math it out so basically a chi slope will fit right at the front of the foot, perfectly aligned. Now you could do the same thing by attaching the Technic connector to this section of the axle, but then you would only get it.
There we go. I knew I had a mock that had some feet.
Yes.
It's a slightly different technique than you're saying.
Oh no, that's right. This is the one that made it added up. Sorry. Yes. Hand, get out here.
Especially because this is an axle version of the 1x1 stud.
As you can see, the chi slope is like perfectly lined up. So using some Lego system, you can extend it. I forgot that's how I did it. I thought I had connected all the way to the back,
Well, back in the old days, they didn't have the axle 1x1, so you kind of sometimes needed to extend it to keep it stiff.
Not usual. Oh, you actually do use the axle. The only problem about this is it technically bulges out from the foot a tiny bit. Like you can feel that it's not perfectly flush. Like, especially if you feel like right
Yeah,
there. It's like, it's not enough that you need to worry about, but it's a great way of keeping...
I think that's more just because of the whole thing in general.
Yeah. But essentially, it's a great way of keeping the foot flush, or adding an extra... What's sad about me is that cheese slopes don't come in old purple. 1x1 plates do come, or tiles come in old purple, which does work pretty well for it. But, like, if you want to add a little bit of dark green to someone's foot... Actually, also with that... 1 second. I will be right back. I see find where you put a piece, which I am assuming...
Onvermel will return after these messages.
Like this... is this the right kind? Yes, kind? Yes, it is. I'm back. Another foot connection. So, okay, I need your foot. 1 second. Just remember your foot. He'll grow it back. Well, no, because... So, let's say you have this foot, and you have a character that's dark green. Now, you also can't get this foot in dark green. Well, you can add a bit of cheese slope in there, dark green. And then, if you really want, you can add... This also does come in dark green. This triangle piece does come in dark green, so you can add this triangle piece into the foot, which flows really nicely and just... I don't know, it does, like, it's not needed, but it's just a...
The nice part I find, it comes in brown. Old brown.
In fact, that does come in old brown, which
the
is...
foot comes in old browns, or like if it comes in tan. It's such a nice combination.
See, look at that. I guess, look at that.
Look at that.
I forgot there's a camera sometimes. And so, I don't know, I only recently realized how well that triangular road sign piece works with the toe foot. Shortly after, I also was the one who discovered how well the cheese slopes fits in there. And so just...
I'm pretty sure anyone...
I figured it out to myself. The internet had nothing to do with it.
I'm pretty sure I also figured it out myself.
I'm pretty sure that was for me when after I built Exalix.
Yeah, I've known about the cheese slope for ages.
Exalix had them as foot for ages. I don't know. Maybe we just never did it. I don't know. Either way, I'm pleased with myself, and I do really just enjoy. So now that I know that connection, I mean, it only works with the old mold of the triangle piece, and only specifically the triangle one.
Yeah.
But if I do end up,
it doesn't work with the square one.
We can know because the clip's a little bit higher.
Yeah,
It's a little more centered.
I see.
And so the triangle piece does come in like yellow, gray, black, dark green, white, and enough colors now that if I do start getting them in my collection, there's a good chance they might migrate to the BIONICLE room. Just because, I don't know. I mean, it's very situational because they don't come in that many colors.
There are also ways to fill in that gap using a clip.
Oh yeah, there's like the clip
in
one.
The tile.
It depends where you want to fill in the gap.
Yeah, it depends what gap you want. The thing is, you can't really do the cheese slope thing and use the clip.
I will say this: if you make a Blackstone 1 character, you should put yellow ones in a Blackfoot.
I think that guy might have those feet.
He does actually. Now I don't know if you have any old style yellow ones.
I do. I ordered them specifically for Blacktron 1 purposes.
Just because it's a triangle, and it's yellow. It's perfectly Blacktron. So like I said, there's just been a growing number of system parts.
Well, you get a little black tape and make a triangle out of it, stick in there, then you have a proper Triforce.
Or you just get three toes. Or you get 3 toe feet, make them into a body.
Mind you, in this case, it'd be a Zelda Triforce and not a Blacktron Triforce.
Well,
but if the dude's just looking down at his feet, he's just
exactly. He's looking at his drip, and they're like, "Oh, those Vans! I tell ya, nice. My shoelaces." Honestly, one of my favorite things is just when I discover that 2 Lego pieces can just fit really nicely together, either aesthetically or like physically. Because aesthetically, I had built a Tometru style body, Toe of Lightning, who had a Kakama. But everyone knows the Kakama. It's got the nice, thanks, hand, has the nice vents on the side.
Yes.
And aesthetically, those, I don't know if you have one nearby. See, this thing, now that I'm in this room, I had to go, are there any nearby? I know, because they come in yellow.
I do have one on the mock. It's probably in the box. Turquoise and yellow.
Turquoise and yellow. Oh, yes. Ah.
We can't see the timer, so we need to set up a mirror behind it.
Or just keep looking at the clock over there.
Well, you need to remember, it was 10 after, so that means it has been, 13-ish minutes.
So you have this arm piece, and when it's aesthetic, like shading a Nika's shoulder, it has, this sort of, matching vents that the Kakama had. And also it fits very well on a Metru-style body's shoulder. And so the piece just looked really good.
Honestly, this motorcycle fairing it's a nice kneecap.
It's a really good Barnacle piece, and I'm actually surprised that it ended up being an Exoforce.
Okay, technically speaking, this is an Exoforce piece.
Well, yes, but that's a technical piece.
But it's a Barnacle piece.
Yes, it's a Barnacle weapon. But, it's actually weird that motorcycle piece for Jack Stone only came in Jack Stone and X-Force. Which is unfortunate because it's a nice piece, but only means I can't believe it only comes in the 2 colors.
Another good aesthetically fitting piece. There's a yellow and black guy in there.
Yellow black guy? Oh, yes.
The
Yes. Falling down Barnacles.
The Komao and the Hero Factory armor.
I mean, just having the holes.
They both have 4 holes.
I think they're also both, kind of smooth.
Roundish.
But also do have kind of Greebling-esque texturing to them. I mean, that was always made this guy look better looking, was just the fact that he had that nice combination of
I mean, I have another yellow mock that has that exact same sort of thing. Literally right here because it's such a good combo.
I mean, actually, I've just found that that Hero Factory armor does just look good with a lot of stuff.
Honestly, it is really good. It's even my Futron one, I had to add it on and it looks so much better.
Yeah, so it's it is a nice where you can just get 2 parts and just go. Because that was one thing about building when you're younger is you don't really think about the aesthetics of parts and such.
More just matching colors.
And that's one reason why I think I've started to use more system in Barnacles for the sole fact of is that I'm using more Hero Factory, which both have a very smooth aesthetic. At least if you're using tiles or slopes and such,
yes,
you're getting less of the Technic pin greeble piston look. And so having this kind of supply of smooth, same thing with the that triangle piece. Again, if you're having someone with toe feet who has a lot of Hero Factory, adding that triangle piece kind of smooths out the foot to have it aesthetically fit a little bit better, if that's what you want. Don't get me wrong, it does limit a little bit of posability in the ankle depending on how you have your lower legs built, because normally that cavity is actually a really nice thing for posing, which I've noticed lately. But overall, it's not that bad. It's not bad. And so those are majority of the bigger system pieces. At least I usually go to. You would think 1x1 round plates would be a very common one. I actually have learned that I really don't like using 1x1 round plates on Barnacles.
They are sometimes useful.
The only time I wanted to use them was when I was trying to add a trans color to a Barnacle and I didn't have enough parts. So you add a bit of clear ones or trans blue, trans green, but I just
occasionally it's useful for covering up just a little hole.
Just filling a little gap there. I mean, they have their uses, but I find normally they just. I think it's because the anti-stud, you could tell isn't Technic. Or if you got the stud side, well, then what's the point? Why not just have a 1x1 ground tile?
Exactly.
So it's yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're necessary for his neon green eyes.
Yes. Actually, I'm using that. I mean, I guess system parts is tires.
Tires.
Not the big Technic tires, but smaller system race car tires. Or probably the one I completely forgot about.
They were especially useful for some Hero Factory joints to beefing them up.
It's weird. There was a point where we were using tires on so many models. Every time something was black.
I haven't used one in almost years. I would say.
I occasionally use bigger tires on bigger people, but yeah, and I was gonna say either we've just gone better, or I mean, part of it is that if you depend on which tire you use, it doesn't math out right, so it does kind of. Mm-hmm. It's a little illegal and does fudge the numbers. But they're because Onvermel, most of his versions used to use tires in them. Mm-hmm. I mean, his latest version does still use tires in his lower legs, but honestly, no, he does still need them unless I change his legs to match everyone else's, which I don't. But tires. Whether or not tires are dubiously system or Technic is also a big debate because most tires attach to a wheel that is your pin or axle connection. Tires are beyond system or Technic. They are just Lego wheels. They're just
rolling around in your buckets sometimes.
Yes. I think the biggest system piece I've used though, which I would never keep with my Barnacle collection, it's just a large piece I have used, is the X-Pod container. A lot of people might not know what X-Pod container is. It's roughly the size of a T.O.A lid, honestly.
Pretty close.
About 11 by 11 studs. 11 by 11 by 3, I think.
3 bricks high.
I have a character has that as like a big dome head. It's a cool piece, and they come a lot of trans, but again, they're heavily studded. So unless you're using the actual
using with BIONICLE, well, it's just like using a system. You're only going to use it once in a blue moon.
Which I'm more likely to use the dish parts that go on top of them as shields for BIONICLEs. But even then, I don't like using system shield, like system dishes for shields. Even like the 8x8 that Kapakanova uses. If I use it on BIONICLE, it doesn't look right. The aesthetic's wrong.
Well, it's just a single solid smooth thing.
Which can look great, but then you got those 4 studs in the middle that are just there.
Well, that's why like the superheroes like came out, or Ninjago or whatever.
The 9x9 dish, I think.
Yeah.
No, that's a nice dish. Generally, it's just nice.
Well, there are ways to get rid of the studs.
There are one
like a Sensei Wu hat.
The Sensei Wu hat, or the 2x2 round tile with the hole in the middle, so if you the connection, or give me a knife. Give me a really sharp knife and just...
Let's not cut off the studs.
I think, I have a 12 Light. I think is the only person that uses the, I remember that because you sent the Sensei Wu hat, which I had on my 12 Light shield, which had the, golden, mech from the final battle of Ninjago. That was a nice shield. That's good, but that's also got nice tech detailing of, like, pipes and, like, greeble texture, which is...
Yes.
I very much enjoy. I keep just looking over your parts. See, this is going to be difficult. I was like, if I'm going in this room, I'm just always going to be staring at all the BIONICLEs in here, so I'm like...
Yeah, you'll notice our eyes wandering
Also, I'm not used to being in camera as much. I'm still not comfortable. We'll probably get more. But at least I have someone to constantly, like, look to, just...
Yeah, I have someone constantly look to as well.
Or look away. I mean, there's a lot of... There's a lot of stuff in here to look at.
It's a small room, and it is crammed to the nines.
I'm actually hoping that the audio is going to be a lot better, because there's a lot less echo in here.
It's a very small room. It's only like 4 feet by 8 feet.
System Ruru.
System Ruru.
And this has nothing to do with it. I just saw when we were talking about system. He had built a large yellow Ruru because he wanted the yellow Ruru, so he built a big one.
I mean, it's not the only system BIONICLE thing in here. I've got my Matatahu that I built at a pretty much system.
Those are still good feet. I guess now that with the system, there's also system BIONICLE set there, the other system T.O.A BIONICLE set, which with the the thing is, even with all the parts in this set, I don't think there's anything on this I'd be like, oh, I need to keep that piece for BIONICLE. Because I don't, as much as I find this style fun, I've only built my Onvermel in this style, and that's it. Nothing else. That'd be kind of fun maybe to build, like, the whole team in that style, but, see it, man. Try to make Exalus and Baku different sizes, and the rest, that'd be kind of fun, but not much else. Though I am going to be I'm going to be cutting this podcast a little bit short today. I would like to, let you and your wife ditch me a bit earlier today than normal.
Yeah, scram.
It is it's a very special day for them. And as for myself, there's only so much system I can talk about BIONICLEs. It kind of starts to fade away into the memories and such, so... Plus, I actually kind of want to go home. Which is a really weird thing to say when I'm sitting in the BIONICLE room. I kind of want to just go home and chill. Or look at my BIONICLEs.
Go in your BIONICLE room.
Ah, yes. My BIONICLE room, as a display, showing people off, is almost better, but yours is much better building space. Mine's more of a, check out my cave.
Let's just say I definitely had building in mind.
Yeah, mine you can't build very well on. But, anyways, we'll leave that there for now. Hope you guys like this. I have been your host, Onvermel. This has been the T.O.A Podcast, and we're retiring from the night.